What's up, guys? If y'all clicked this video and were like, oh my god, Dabuz, to a keyboard warrior at a time, how could you dare say Byleth is broken and top tier? Leo's carrying the character, his character stinks, oh my god, you're so stupid, Dabuz, hate your opinions, worst player of the game ever. I'm glad the clickbait title worked. YouTube algorithms, forced me to do this stuff. Anyway, I do want to talk about Byleth though, and why I think people underrate this character very slightly. I know a lot of people tend to put this, like, kind of just discount this character as, like, you know, viable, put the character as, like, lower mid-tier, like, 40s, 50s, and I tend to look at this character and think, yeah, like, could be, like, in the 30s, probably not anything past, like, that, like, you know, somewhere in the lower, maybe mid-high tiers. I think I put this character in upper mid-tier and was, like, very, like, I think this is too low. I'm not confident in placing the character higher in my last tier list. It's like 40s as well. Yeah. I'll talk with the fact that this character is definitely a little bit underrated and under-talked about. Now Leo's kind of blowing people up with this character. But also why Leo's able to take advantage of this character so well. So first of all, one of the most important things about Byleth, in my opinion, is that this character just has a reliable game plan. Because when you're fighting Byleth, anywhere from like here to like here is kind of scary versus Byleth. Because this character has a lot of good moves in those areas, right? Like character mobility, frame data, but the hitboxes, the power on the moves, kill, like all these things is really good. Especially this move right here. Multi-hit nairs and ultimate are just kind of busted, and this one is one of the best ones. It comes out frame 6, so it's a frame 9 out of shield option. Or like a frame 9 short hop option. It is very safe in block at -9 with a landing hitbox and -11 otherwise, which ends up being really hard to deal with because it's a cross-up aerial. So like for example, like you're fighting Diddy Kong and like Diddy Kong is shielding, you can realistically do like this. Right, so the multi-hit, and because it's multi-hit, it's really hard to parry this. Do like this. Slide back. And yeah. People don't talk about this, right? You can pancake moves with the landing leg of the neutral air. And by the time you're able to shield, you're still in pancake. See, it will profile a lot of out of shield options, right? That's a huge deal, by the way. Unless you have like an up B shield that's kind of big, like things like Cloud Up B, it's really hard for a lot of characters to punish this. And in Ultimate, when you cross up someone's shield, it is one of the worst positions to be in as the shielder in this game for a lot of characters. Because the situation occurs, right? And now this is what's going to happen a lot of times. Someone's going to like jump, someone's going to shield. So first of all, because you can't shield grab behind you, and most up smashes don't hit behind you, and not many characters have like up Bs as shield, and even if you do have one, if you whiff it, a lot of those are very punishable. It's like you're kind of forced to hold shield or like choose a jump or like a defensive option, like a spot dodge, a roll, whatever. And that really stinks when you're forced to do that. Meanwhile, your opponent can basically shield and react to what you're doing. Like, oh, you're gonna roll? Just try to react to have the punish. Spot dodge, same thing. You're jumping? Alright, try to catch the landing or challenge you in the air with massive sword hitboxes, right? So, and you can always like dash around after crossing someone up. You don't have to shield. There's a lot of mix-ups there. But the point is, this is a very strong position for Byleth to be in, and something that Byleth can force constantly because of neutral there. And then a lot of people are gonna think, oh, but you can just outspace Nair. Reasonable. And this is where the rest of Byleth's kit really comes into play. Because if you're trying to outspace Nair, this character has a lot of options. This character can like run up to you and be like, oh, you're gonna outspace Nair? Jump back forward air. You can like jump in and drift back forward air. And like kind of make it ambiguous as to whether you're nairing or not in the first place. And the forward air doesn't have the most damage output, but it's decent. It's a nice little poke. Since Byleth kills pretty early though, even these little pokes honestly are good enough. You can always use like tilts to wall people out as well, like run up and just tilt. Or like run up, bait out like maybe an aerial that's meant to challenge the nair, and then just like dash back tilt. I'm not gonna go through every interaction, but the point is all these really big, decently fast, and like powerful and decently damaging buttons. Along with having a grab that leaves in the combos a low percent. Nothing crazy, of course, but it's something. Like, makes it so this is a really annoying 50-50 situation. This is a situation where you can be outplayed if you find Byleth consistently. And I think that's what makes Leo so good with this character, is that he's really good at picking up at habits and like exploiting one or two habits a lot. So, and he starts noticing little cracks in people, because whenever people start getting scared, they start like these really bad habits generally. So he just does this like situation, sees that one opening, and just takes advantage of it over and over. So Byleth is a great character for that, if you're able to recognize the habits people have. And also I want to mention, I don't think I mentioned this before, but Nair can combo this stuff pretty consistently. Or at least have to detect chases and stuff, so it's just another reason that move's really strong. But yeah, so that's a neutral, and obviously this character has other things in neutral. You don't always have to just swing with like tilts, aerials, Nair. Obviously gotta move around a lot, look for some dash attacks, whatever. But the point is, these situations appear enough for Byleth, and just having big hitboxes in Ultimate is really nice. Like, there's a reason that a lot of the best characters in Ultimate nowadays, and the ones that become very common in the meta, are characters with swords or otherwise big hitboxes. Because that's just like, I don't know, as Ultimate's getting older, that's just kind of how the game's progressing. And now when it comes to the advantage state for Byleth, this character's advantage state is pretty darn strong. First of all, juggling I think is pretty like straightforward. You got up tilts, up airs, hard read up smashes, like jump back forward airs and back airs, air to air nairs. Like, it's really hard to land versus this character. So between those tools and the fact that a lot of Byleth's moves send you off stage in a way where you're kind of forced to go to the ledge. Like, you're dumb if you try like double jumping on stage after dash attack. That angle is too low. And also, you kill kind of early, right? Same with like forward tilt. Same with like Byleth doing, say, back throw. So you kind of forced to ledge versus Byleth a lot, right? And then the ledge game versus Byleth stinks, because you have all these like just really good tilts to cover different ledge options very safely and easily. You have neutral air as well. You got forward air and back air, a little less reliable, but can make kind of hard read tools very, very strong. And then you have this right here, the ledge jump up B, the ledge jump back air, like the, oh my god, the ledge jump on stage, wait for someone to regrab and like punish them. Like, you have so many things that, once again, a player like Byleth, who really likes looking at these little habits and like exploiting them, is really good at knowing how he can kill people at various percents. Because people with eyes just straight 40 versus him at the ledge. Like, that's just kind of normal sometimes, honestly. Like, I'm not seeing people that pass 100 at the ledge versus Leo's Byleth. So, like, that's what he does, and that's so scary, because it's kind of like the neutral interaction situation where you're just forced into those positions, and it's kind of just up to the Byleth player to like kill you there. Like, it's gonna feel like a mix-up game where whoever plays the situation better like gets through it. So it's really scary to play this RPS if you're losing it a lot. And now you might be saying, oh, but like, what about this character's disadvantage state? And yeah, the character's disadvantage state isn't that strong. When the character's like locked in shield or neutral, she does have good out shield options. I will say that if like from a disadvantage state, because the Nair, frame 6 grab can be decent. Up has shield. Up smash is scary enough that you don't want to like be too aggressive on her shield, along with like jump back aerials. But when she's at the ledge, yeah, she doesn't really have too much to work with. She is like this, which is okay. Doing things like that can be pretty decent as well, because it's so much range, and once again, it's scary. You don't want to get hit by her. She hits decently hard and kills very early. So even if she like rolls past you and does like this is annoying. Just because the forward tilt's pretty big and decently fast. So like, you don't want to like get too aggressive at her at the ledge versus her, because she has a lot of ways to punish you for messing up even slightly. And then off stage, this up B, first of all, a lot of characters can't do anything about this. There's just straight up, a lot of characters don't have ways to like go out and hit tethers like that. As a mimic player, I can already tell you most characters can't hit me if I like have time to get super low and tether. Or at least players haven't been good at it yet. And especially because Byleth will like grab you and like pull you down, jump off you, and kill you while recovering. It's extra scary. And there's a lot of characters in this game that rely on edge guarding for kills. So it's really hard to kill Byleth with those characters if you can't set up low percent edge guards where you can chase her aggressively before she has time to tether. And then the fact that she's like decently weighty, she's like pyro weight, so like middle-ish of the pack. Like Pyro Core and Luigi Shulk. It's like upper, middle, I'd say. It's like, she's not really easy to kill overall. Like, she doesn't get out of disadvantage well, but she doesn't like get blown up there either. She does get comboed pretty hard, even with like frame 6 neutral air. She definitely has a lot of trouble escaping combos and strings and generally landing. And that's where like most players are like beating Byleth right now. But yeah, it's competent enough as a disadvantage that you can work with it, right? And that's overall kind of the reason that Byleth is like, at least in Leo's hand, looking pretty darn strong. Just a very strong like RPS-ish character with extremely frustrating spacing tools and a game plan that's very like not easy to execute, but simple. Like, no one's gonna just pick up Byleth and beat people with her. But if you understand like what you're looking for, sometimes it's as simple as, alright, I'm gonna go to the ledge and I'm just gonna guess. And if I guess right, you die at like 60. If I guess wrong, I still am in a decent spot because of all this range. Or because like I did like a trump and then you got put into awkward spot as a result. And then I can do something and back neutral. So yeah. I think I mentioned this already in this video. But I also want to mention that I do think the meta helps her out a lot. That like a lot of the projectile characters, which I think should be giving her a lot of trouble, aren't really like that like common anymore because of all the sorting characters that kind of push them out. Along with the fact that a lot of projectile characters just aren't strong in this game. Like there's a lot of good characters with projectiles, but not many that focus on them. But most of like the super fast characters like Mithra, Joker, Sonic, Diddy should have a good matchup versus her. That's just playing them. So it's interesting to see if long term, if like that like is shown to not be the case, or if people just get better at the matchup and Leo just struggles with this character a lot. Which I do think given time, people are gonna just figure out how to deal with Byleth, and it's gonna be kind of like an Ike situation where it's like, alright, people understand the weaknesses of Byleth now, they can exploit it better, it's still Leo. But it's like not gonna be the most reliable pick long term. But yeah, I will say with all the sorties in the meta right now though, that she's really strong versus like those specific characters. Like all like Pyramithras, Roy's, etc. Or just the characters that kind of play like this spacing game, not so much like a Rushdown game. Hey guys, that's the video. Peace, I hope you enjoyed it.